High in remote mountain ranges and deep within ancient metamorphic rocks, nature hides one of its most extraordinary creations, a crystal so intensely red that ancient civilizations believed it contained the very essence of fire. For thousands of years, kings fought wars over it, traders risked dangerous journeys to obtain it, and geologists searched entire mountain belts to uncover its hidden origins. But what if the real story of this gemstone is even more fascinating than the legends surrounding it? Because the truth is this: the discovery of a natural ruby is rarely an accident. Across the world, these extraordinary crystals leave subtle geological clues, hidden signs in the rocks, rivers, and minerals that surround them, clues that experienced explorers learn to recognize. Today, we will uncover 10 amazing facts about rubies that most people never learn, including the natural signals that reveal where these fiery gemstones might be waiting beneath the surface. And one of these clues changed how geologists search for rubies forever. Fact 1. Ruby is actually a variety of corundum. To understand rubies, we must begin with an unexpected truth. Despite its unique appearance and legendary reputation, a ruby is not a completely separate mineral. Instead, it belongs to a mineral family known as corundum. Corundum itself is composed mainly of aluminum and oxygen atoms arranged in an extremely strong crystal structure. In its pure form, corundum is colorless, but when trace elements enter the crystal during its formation, something remarkable happens. Tiny amounts of chromium replace some of the aluminum atoms inside the structure. This subtle chemical change transforms the mineral into the deep red gemstone known as a ruby. Without chromium, the crystal would remain colorless. With chromium, the crystal glows with the intense red color that has captivated human cultures for centuries. Yet this transformation happens deep inside specific geological environments, which leads to the next surprising fact. Fact 2. Rubies form under extreme geological conditions. Natural rubies do not form in ordinary rocks. They require very specific conditions that occur only in certain geological environments. Most rubies originate within metamorphic rocks, especially marble that has been altered by immense heat and pressure deep inside mountain belts. Over millions of years, tectonic forces push these rocks deeper into the Earth's crust. Temperatures rise, pressure increases, minerals dissolve and reform. During this slow geological transformation, aluminum-rich minerals interact with chromium-bearing fluids. If the chemical balance is just right, ruby crystals begin to grow. This process may take millions of years. The result is a gemstone created through one of the most delicate chemical balances in nature. And because these conditions are rare, rubies are far less common than many other gemstones. Fact 3. The red color of ruby comes from chromium. The famous red color of ruby is not just beautiful, it is also scientifically remarkable. Inside every ruby crystal, chromium atoms absorb certain wavelengths of light while reflecting others. The reflected wavelengths produce the rich red color that defines the gemstone. In some rubies, the concentration of chromium is so precise that the crystal produces an extraordinary shade known as pigeon blood red. This color is considered the most valuable ruby color in the gem trade, but chromium does something else that is equally fascinating. When exposed to ultraviolet light, many rubies glow intensely. This phenomenon, called fluorescence, causes some rubies to appear almost as if they are shining from within. It is one of the reasons rubies can look so vivid in sunlight. Fact 4. Rubies are one of the hardest natural gemstones. Another remarkable fact about rubies is their durability. On the Mohs hardness scale, rubies rank 9 out of 10, making them one of the hardest natural gemstones known. Only one gemstone ranks higher: diamond. This hardness comes from the extremely strong atomic bonds within the corundum crystal structure. Because of this strength, rubies resist scratches and wear. This durability made them ideal for royal jewelry throughout history. Ancient kings believed rubies symbolize protection, power, and vitality, but their hardness also allows them to survive geological transport, which leads to a crucial clue in ruby discovery. Fact 5. Rivers often reveal hidden rubies. Over millions of years, the rocks containing ruby crystals slowly erode. Rainfall, rivers, and weather break apart the host rock. When this happens, ruby crystals may be released and carried downstream. Because rubies are relatively dense, they tend to settle in river gravels along with other heavy minerals. These deposits are called alluvial ruby deposits. In many parts of the world, local miners search river sediments for these gemstones, but experienced gem hunters rarely search randomly. Instead, they watch for geological signs. Heavy minerals like garnet, spinel, and magnetite often accumulate in the same places where rubies settle. Finding these minerals in river gravel can signal that rubies may also be nearby. Nature, once again, leaves subtle clues. Fact 6. Some rubies contain star patterns. Not all rubies display a simple red glow. Some contain microscopic needle-like crystals of rutile trapped inside the gemstone. When these tiny inclusions align in specific directions, they create a stunning optical effect. Under focused light, the ruby may display a six-pointed star across its surface. These rare gemstones are known as star rubies. The phenomenon responsible for this effect is called asterism. Rather than reducing the value of the stone, these inclusions create one of the most fascinating visual effects found in gemstones. Star rubies have fascinated collectors and gem lovers for centuries. Fact 7. The most famous rubies come from specific geological regions. Although rubies can occur in several parts of the world, the finest examples are often associated with particular geological regions. One of the most famous ruby-producing areas lies in Myanmar, historically known as Burma. The marble deposits in this region have produced some of the world's most valuable rubies. Other important ruby sources include regions of Thailand, Mozambique, and Madagascar. Each location produces rubies with slightly different characteristics due to variations in geology and trace elements. Geologists study these differences to identify the origin of gemstones. Fact 8. Rubies can grow to remarkable sizes. While most rubies discovered in nature are small, some crystals can grow surprisingly large. Large gem-quality rubies are extremely rare because the geological conditions required for their formation must remain stable for long periods. Even slight changes in temperature or chemistry can interrupt crystal growth. When large ruby crystals do form, they become some of the most valuable gemstones on Earth. Many famous rubies displayed in museums today formed millions of years ago under perfect geological conditions. Fact 9. Rubies have been treasured for thousands of years. Human fascination with rubies is not new. Ancient cultures across Asia considered rubies to be the king of gemstones. Warriors in some regions believed rubies provided protection in battle. Royal families wore them as symbols of authority and prosperity. Historical trade routes carried rubies across continents, linking distant civilizations through gemstone commerce. The gemstone's intense color and rarity ensured that it remained one of the most prized gems throughout history. Fact 10. The search for rubies is becoming more scientific. In the past, ruby discoveries often depended on luck or local knowledge. Today, modern geological science plays a major role in gemstone exploration. Scientists study satellite imagery, geological maps, and mineral chemistry to locate environments where rubies might form. They analyze metamorphic rock formations and search for indicator minerals associated with ruby deposits. These techniques allow explorers to identify potential ruby regions long before mining begins. The search for rubies has evolved from simple prospecting into a sophisticated scientific discipline. At the beginning of this journey, we asked a question: how do explorers know where to look for rubies hidden deep within the earth? The answer lies in the natural clues left behind by geology itself. Metamorphic marble deposits, indicator minerals in river sediments, heavy crystals gathered in ancient river gravels. Each of these signs points toward the fiery gemstone that has fascinated humanity for centuries. Every natural ruby carries a story that began millions of years ago beneath the Earth's surface. A story written in pressure, heat, chemistry, and time. And somewhere in the mountains and rivers of our planet, new rubies may still be waiting to be discovered, hidden in the rocks, waiting for someone who understands the clues.